My mind, gotta hustle and grind. Financial literacy always on my mind. I'm stacking knowledge, no time to waste. Gotta invest smart, gotta keep up the pace. I'm reading books, learning all the tricks, studying the market, making calculated picks.
What's good, everybody? It is your boy Reckless Ray De Niro. We are back at it again with our Robinhood update. I'm recording this obviously the night before. It is Thursday evening, October 9th. You'll be seeing this in your mid-morning, early morning-ish, morning-ish, whatever. Not as early as I normally post these videos, but Friday morning, Bag Fortification Friday. It'll be October 10th when you guys are viewing this, and I'm hoping you guys have a good Friday. You've had a good week. I'm hoping you're getting your paychecks in. This is a payday for me. I'm bi-weekly, so I get them every other Bag Fortification Friday, but I hit you with this update every Friday. Some Fridays, if I'm going to miss a video, this is the one, because Thursday is my Friday, and some of these Thursdays, I've got things that come up before I can record, and my scheduling as far as work into my existence gets a little bit crunched. So if I can't get to it on Friday, then yeah, this is the video that gets pushed normally because I can't pre-record it too far out. So if a video gets missed, or I'm out of town or gone, or any of the like, the Fridays are going to be the ones that fall off because I can't really do anything for that. I am going to be gone in January for about 15 days, so I'll do some pre-records that I'll drop in on some Fridays before we get around to that. That'll probably just be some ideology or something along the lines where I'll be using the Robinhood portfolio as a reference point. And yeah, so before we jump into it, let's go ahead and make sure we hit that like button on the way in. Free way to support, level 1. Level 2 is if you've been here, especially if you've been here more than 2 times, hit that subscribe button. That is the level 2 of free support. When you're doing and carrying out your level 2 task, do not forget the side quest of hitting the bell notification, turning all notifications to on, so that way you are informed when my videos premiere, so that way you get to hear it first. And lastly, level 3, the biggest, because we are at 401 subs, and I appreciate you. We're starting to get a little bit chatter back into the comment section. I appreciate that too. I am checking them when I'm doing my uploads, and if there are comments in there, I'm reading through them and replying. I do check my comments. This channel is not near big enough for me to not be checking comments. So I check comments, I reply to comments, and I appreciate comments. But sharing the video, getting me out into the algorithm, sharing me with your circles. We are at 401 subscribers, as I just stated. The goal is for 500 for this year, which is a hefty goal for me. Growing channels organically is not that easy when you're not doing shock and awe to go viral. So, it's a grind. It's a slow grind, and I'm here for it. Obviously, I'm documenting the journey for family at a later date. But it would be nice to have the opportunity to get like a cup of joe out of this or something. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump on into it. I got to make myself a micro machine and then bring the receipts to the front of the screen. I always start off with the receipts because receipts are important, and not enough people give them, in my opinion, that have opinions. I have opinions on things because I'm in this, So what are we looking at right now? The portfolio has gotten above $8,000, which is awesome. That's a great metric. It's a merged portfolio, and I'm considering opening up another account so that way I can split off the income, and then just the long-term holdings. Not quite there yet, but we're getting close. We've got 7 shares of Robinhood. Obviously, we buy one of those a month to add into our pool of Robinhood shares. We're up to 1.3 1,300 shares of Ulti, our only income position right now. I want to get this to $150 a week, and then we will open up for the next position, and we'll be rolling the Ulti payments into that. Open, we have 74.79 shares. We have opened the gates back up for that. We're putting in 100 a month every month, and then every once in a while we're buying some. We will also be rolling some of our distributions into that as well. Oh god, allergies. But yeah, so far so good. I've got no complaints. Obviously, we have not been paid our distributions yet, which comes tomorrow after hours, unfortunately for Robinhood. But the portfolio in and of itself is looking good. Obviously, you can see what we have on the bench here for our income strategy. Within this portfolio, we're looking at STRC as a stabilizer, HOYY. We're going to bring that in. I'm also going to do some HOOW. We're probably going to get rid of this Palantir play. I don't think we'll need it. I really don't. And then WPay, I am waiting to see what the Granite share offering of their fund of funds does, because it's supposed to be their top performers, which would be pretty awesome to see what that looks like from a income perspective. So we might be swapping out WPay or adding to it or breaking that up. Because, I mean, obviously, if you're doing portfolio balancing, our cash reserves will be in STRC, but we're looking at WPay and the Granite shares offering as kind of more stable plays to have in here. Ulti, I'm loving so far. As far as it's sitting and being the only thing in here right now, as far as income goes, I am fine with. And that's the end of that sentence. Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's not necessarily the goal for this portfolio, but when you have a portfolio that's building out slowly, it's like I want to get to certain metrics before I start the second position, even though I'm more inclined to rush. And so this is sitting down towards the bare minimum of my portfolio. We're still above 80% passive income, which we're going to go look at here in a second. But I want to hit that 150 mark because I like buying stuff in chunks, and $150 is a good enough chunk for me to open up and start buying. If you're buying it weekly, rolling that into another position. And one of the things that I might do is enrolling that into the next position, maybe splitting it off to where it's like, hey, we're buying a little bit of STRC and then something else, I just don't know. Cause I really want, since this portfolio is smaller, I really want it to just be right. I want to have that 10%, 5 to 10% cash reserve, and then, building from the cash reserve forward. And in order to do that, I have to actually set the money aside to do that. So we'll see what that looks like. Moving on, let's go. We've gotten the portfolio update part done. We've got the receipts. Obviously, this exists. And then I'm going to go take a look at our holdings over here to make sure we're matching. We're not matching. So I got to see if I missed a purchase. Let's go take a look. Investing Robinhood. Ulti, did they round that up? Is that what we did? Let's see. Market value. That's nice. Cost average. Nope, we're good. It's just rounding it up. So the actual, and this is why we do this, the actual number of shares is 1,297.16 and some change, whatever. So not 1,300. 1,300 was being wishful. We'll have 1,300 next week, over 1,300 next week. So let's go over here. Get back in here. Go here. Remove you. We're going to stay micro machined because we got to add a different screen. Share screen. And we're going to go window style. Boom. And we're going to add that to the stage. Boom. There we go. Okay, so now what we're looking at is Snowball Analytics, which is the software that I use to track my dividend high yield portfolios. And the reason I do this is because it adds the context. Because if you just look at it in the brokerage account, they don't do total return. I like total return, total profit. It also gives me a snapshot at the key metrics that I care about, which is total profit and the passive income percentage. So passive income percentage, we are sitting at 86.1. I like my portfolios at this juncture, at this space in the game, because this could change moving forward. And I'm 100% sure it will change moving forward, because as the numbers grow, so does the strategy. So where I'm at right now, I would say I'm in the getting it out the mud phase. Obviously, I'm further along than some of you, but like I'm still looking at it day to day. I'm living paycheck to brokerage, not paycheck to paycheck, but paycheck to brokerage, distribution to distribution, if you would. We're paying off debt. We're making a few moves, getting our financial life in order still. And the thing to bear in mind is the stuff and the moves that I'm making right now and the way that I'm able to pivot right now. I've already put in my 10,000 hours in crypto, which is very cutthroat, and survived. So the traditional finance stuff that I'm doing now alongside the crypto, because this will get me out of the workforce sooner to where I don't have to work. It's easier. And I'm not going to say easier. It is slower. It's slower pace, because I'm not looking at my stuff overnight and going, oh, that whole position nuked itself and went to zero and I lost everything. I have the ability to get out. I can follow my own directions. This provides income. The income is then providing me the ability to buy more Bitcoin, specifically, more Ethereum, specifically, potentially more Chainlink, specifically, and also allowing me to get long-term holdings. So that way, as I leave the workforce, my job becomes managing the portfolio full-time. Thing is, it doesn't take me that long to do this right now. And the overarching goal is to be able to step away from the workforce and not have to go back in. Obviously, I don't want to see a bad day in the market and then I got to go put the fries in the bag at McDonald's because the market's doing bad. And so for right now, as we're building, as we're getting a large number, our passive income percentage target is 80 or above. I like to be above 100 personally, but like I don't want it below 80. So 86 right now with just Ulti as the payer sits fine with me. At about 75%, I start looking at adding position to pull that up. But in the case when I was solely all in on Misty, when it hits about 60, we start cutting. Like we start cutting position and having to re-strategize, which is what we did in the primary portfolio, not this portfolio. We also retconned this portfolio as well, but it was for different reasons. So our portfolio value, as far as the income portion of it, is $7,082.43, which is pretty cool. Right now, we are sitting with a total profit of 18.8%. That is $1,463.07. Passive income is sitting at 86%. Moving on down, we are looking at, with the exception of November seems like a short month. Like you almost got to build around November. November is a low paying month. It's one of the low paying months. I don't like that, especially when you're riding into it with just holding Ulti. But as we're looking here, we're looking at over the next 12 months, we're projected to get $6,096.88 with a monthly average of $508.07. Things to bear in mind: this changes every payment because it recalculates based on previous payments. Dividends received so far, we're at $1,586.77. Can't complain about that. We're at 20% of our goal of $30,000, which this portfolio specifically is a lifestyle portfolio, which is all the fun stuff, all the extras. And I figure $30,000 is plenty of money for me to have extras because I don't think I spend that on extras now. And we will then have a good amount of that we will also be able to reinvest, but that's specific to what this portfolio is for. Our primary income portfolio is for our reoccurring monthlies, our subscriptions, the stuff that it takes to live. And we're targeting that for about $60,000 passively a year. So when this hits goal, that hits goal, will be at $90,000 a year. And I'm planning on having a lot left over from both of these portfolios to reinvest. The first year so we're basing our early retirement off the primary portfolio, and that portfolio will be able to fund everything when it's all said and done. After we hit our target income, we're going to likely be working another 12 months. I'll have 12 months left in the workforce where I will be hyper vigilant on saving. By saving, I mean hyper vigilant on investing and bulking these portfolios up as much as possible, as well as the secondary portfolios of long-term holdings, and buying as much Bitcoin as I can. So that way, once I leave the workforce, I will have a meta game to play of managing my money and cycling that to continue to be able to invest and, not have to go to work. Next year, we're looking at being at Barista Fire. 12 months after that, I am looking at I'll probably be reevaluating if I want to go back to work. Like that's if I'm going to continue going to work. And if I am, it's going to definitely have to be on my terms, and it will have to be a setup that's both amicable for me, because otherwise I go get a job moving boxes at FedEx to just get insurance, and I can do that 4 days a week. Like there's not a whole lot that I can do that until the robots come, and by the time the robots come, they'll probably be giving us health insurance because robots will be doing that too. So as far as easing my way out, it's I'm not going to have to be out here working grueling hours, just destroying my body, being ridiculous anymore. So the other thing we like to look at is our positions. So let's go to our holdings, which we're down to just one now. On the daily, we're at 0.01% in the green, just a hair. Total profit, we are at 2.97%, which is awesome. I like it. I'm in an ulti position that's green. That's also great. And yeah, I don't really have much to worry about here. We're looking at waiting for this dividend payout number. We're looking at 470. I would like to get that a little, we're looking for parity here, and we're going to get there. It's just it's a process, and it's a slow process, and it's really hard to focus in, but I'm so close to 150 that there's no point in me buying anything else right now. Obviously, when we make the move on the car, that's going to change up a lot of stuff because we're looking at funding for that. And a lot of that's going to be margin in my accounts. So we'll be at a sideways standstill motion there for a little while we're dealing with that and trying to figure out how much margin is going to be tapped and on which side. But, we might see some outflows from the primary portfolio trickling over here to pay down the margin when I do go purchase the car, because my margin over here is currently at a lower rate. So, yeah. That's what we've got going. That's kind of where we are at with the portfolio. Let me go ahead and get myself back up on the screen. Yeah. Allergies. Weather change always gets me. That's kind of where we are with the portfolio, where we're sitting. Tap in with me down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. I'm single holding Ulti right now. So it's Ulti in my long-term hold and then my moonshot. That's all that's in the Robinhood right now. And honestly, with the way that I generally run my portfolios, I do need to go ahead and take advantage of the fact that Robinhood will let you hold more than you can make individual portfolios now. Oh God. And go ahead and get that hashed apart, because it does drive me crazy when I go into a portfolio and there's more than just the income there when we're having the income conversation. But yeah, it's a thing that I don't like that Robinhood fixed, and I need to go ahead and utilize the fix. But yeah, that's what I got for today. Pretty straightforward episode. These are getting more streamlined and to the point. As we get more positions in the portfolio, obviously the conversation will grow. But as it is right now, we're just trying to get full transparency and tracking the way that I'm building this portfolio out. Obviously, beginning of the month, so you guys got to see the Charles Schwab portfolios, how those are breaking out, what we're doing in there, the strategies for that. The strategy for this, as it sits right now, is just completely long-term lifestyle income. And then we'll have the moonshots over here, which we're going to break out into a different portfolio. But the Robinhood will do that breakdown every week just because it's a smaller portfolio. And also getting to see the actual grind of building this portfolio, because the Charles Schwab, I don't think I started like really talking about that till I had like over $10,000 in there. And I was pulling money over in chunks. Like, we were doing all sorts of stuff. So like, as we get that portfolio up to snuff, we'll start seeing some of those chunks of money come in here. But we also have ample content of this portfolio just getting started. It was just side hustle money that was coming in here, little stipend every week. As we got to certain debt metrics, we kicked the savings percentage up a little bit. And since I don't actually believe in like saving, it just goes into the brokerage account and becomes income, which is, in my opinion, awesome and probably a more efficient way to do that. But, that's my 2 cents. Again, tap in with me down in the comments. And yeah, until next week, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe. And we'll be back at it again. This has been another Robinhood portfolio update for the week ending in October 10th. And we'll be back next week. We'll see you next Friday. It's your boy Reckless Ray De Niro, and I'm out. Peace.
Money on my mind, yeah. Focus, got no time for games, nah. I don't play, man, I'm all about that financial literacy. Investing in my future, building generational wealth. Dollar bills, they be calling my name, but I ain't chasing fame, I'm chasing change. Learn the game, now I'm playing it smart. Putting my money to work, it's an art. I'm stacking paper, building my own empire. No more living check to check, I'm getting higher. Investing in stocks, real estate, and more. Gotta secure the bag, that's what I came for.